I'm so tired of Twitter right now. You know, Twitter is probably the social media I use the most, aside from YouTube. But it's been a while since I had a nice relationship with the website, at least in terms of the environment I've created for myself. And I think this all started around last year or late 2016. But initially, my beef with Twitter had to do with politics. There was a period, like after Trump got elected, like I kept seeing a shitload of tweets from mostly celebrities. They just kept like constantly talking shit about Trump, and they just kept tweeting and retweeting about political shit that I honestly couldn't give a fuck. And it got really out of hand, and I just couldn't stand it. There are certain people I ended up unfollowing because I just couldn't stand the amount of political stuff related to politics that I just couldn't handle. Tara Strong, for instance, like, I mean, it also doesn't help that her Twitter page just kind of sucks in general. Like, if she's not tweeting about Trump, she's just tweeting a bunch of fake bullshit, just using the character she voiced to sort of manipulate you into thinking that Trump is some kind of horrible human being and whatever the fuck. I don't even care. I don't even remember the last time I checked her Twitter account. It's fucking garbage. I still respect her as a voice actress, and I think she's great, but I don't really like her on Twitter. Anyway, you also have guys like Alex Hirsch and Grey Delia, although in their defense, they have died down a little bit. I don't think that they're as active on political conversations on Twitter, at least, compared to before. Or maybe they are, but Twitter decided to suppress them because, I never interact with them. Whatever. I just know that it died down. Like, it's not as bad as before. Like, in early 2017, it was a complete fucking nightmare. But now, I have a different problem with Twitter. And this is gonna sound incredibly ironic given the type of video this is, but it's about drama. Now, I love drama. I think drama is pretty fun, but drama on Twitter is pretty exhausting. It's actually one of the most annoying things ever. Like, in every single drama from this year in specific, like, all of them have just been incredibly time consuming, just tiresome. Like, just look at like the fucking change the channel drama. Like, literally everyone on my timeline were just talking shit about Dog Walker, just kept talking about the drama in the US. Like, I even remember people just obsessing over what's his name? Animat. Like, Animat got into a controversy with some people because he hates Sony animations, and he made that kind of like a gimmick of his channel, which, I mean, it's fine to criticize Animat for being a little bit excessive with his criticisms against Sony animation. I mean, I'm for one not a fan of the way he talked about it, but this drama, like, it got out of hand. Like, it got, like, I don't know, like, people were talking about this drama probably a lot more than they should have. Like, I think that people should have just, like, briefly talked about this, like, once or twice and then just move on. But no, this went on for way too fucking long. And like, people were painting Animate as some kind of bad guy who has, like, a huge bias against Sony animation, like, for a long time. And I don't know. For me, I don't know. I don't think he has. I mean, he has said that he doesn't have a bias against Sony animation, so it's already confirmed. But yeah, that's kind of how drama works on Twitter. Like, you even have the Butch Hartman drama, and guess what? I actually love that drama. I thought it was one of the funniest dramas from this year, but even that, like, got oversaturated. Like, initially it was really funny, like, seeing people, like, expose things about Butch Hartman, like, more and more. And as I saw more videos and tweets for him that were just incredibly fucking hilarious. I just kept downloading it because it was really fun. But then, like, people, like, it got overblown. Like, so many fucking tweets about him. Like, even the fucking parody accounts, which initially I thought they were really funny, but just like all parody accounts, they stopped being funny. Now they're just complete garbage, and so many people created parody accounts. Some are funnier than others, and some of them are just complete garbage. That's just kind of how drama is on Twitter. It's really toxic. And I could also talk about the memes on Twitter because, yeah, Twitter is not exactly the best place to go when it comes to memes. Like, they're all garbage. They're all just a bunch of repetitive template garbage. Just kind of missing missing the appeal of memes. Like, for me, what I find funny about memes is just how absurd it can get. Like, people like to talk shit about the Pickle Rick memes, but I'll give credit to them. At least, like, I remember one specific fan art of Pickle Rick and one of the characters from VeggieTales. I think it was also a pickle, and I saw a fan art of them making out. Like, that's how crazy the Pickle Rick memes went. And I can respect them a lot more than all the fucking shitty ass SpongeBob memes that I saw this year. All of them were shit. That isn't to say that there weren't any good memes this year. I like the anime character that says is this, and then it says something stupid. That's a pretty funny meme. I like it. It's the only meme I liked it from this year. Oh, you also have the modern animation is garbage meme, which I'll get to that later. And yeah, getting back to drama. I think the worst drama from this year was undeniably the Thundercats Roar drama. Now, that drama was problematic for several reasons. The first one had to do with how a lot of people just were mischaracterizing modern animation and using this absurd term called CalArt style. Everyone has already debunked the CalArt style thing, and it's funny because that's actually a big problem I have with this whole drama. Because aside from the people who were mischaracterizing the animation industry, you also had people defending the animation industry, which, quite honestly, I thought they were just as annoying as the other side. Because those people, like, I saw a lot of people like talking down to critics of the Thundercats Roar trailer, like saying shit like "you're a fucking man-child" and "you're blinded by nostalgia." Like, this is something that's actually a little bit recent. Like, I saw someone said that we should kill nostalgia, which is a very misguided mindset. No, none of us should kill nostalgia. Nostalgia is a pretty good thing. Nostalgia helps us appreciate old stuff. And just because someone has nostalgia for something, it doesn't mean that he's blinded. Because guess what? I also have I feel very nostalgic when I watch Robot Boy. But I thought that cartoon was fucking shit. Doesn't mean it's not because I don't feel nostalgic. I just think it's shit. But nostalgia can be a good thing because, like, as a result of technology evolving and our culture evolving, like, older stuff are harder to appreciate because of how dated they are. But when you have nostalgia, it does help you appreciate that stuff more because of the feelings of familiarity you have for them. And I don't know, like, someone has to appreciate old stuff. So that's why I think nostalgia is actually a good thing. And people who don't like Thundercats were, like, they're not just a bunch of nostalgia blind man-childs. Like, I'm not a fan of the original Thundercats, but hey, if they like something about it and they think that this new reboot that's coming, like, misses the appeal and gets a couple of things wrong, like, you know, like, they think that the original conceptually is better than Thundercats were, they can share whatever opinion they fucking want. Like, it's not fair, you know. It's not fair to just completely diminish, like, any point they might have just because they have great memories with the original Thundercats, you know. Like, debunk his point, not the idea that he doesn't like Thundercats Roar. And this isn't to say that every defender of Thundercats Roar were like that. I'm just saying a lot of them were. And now, granted, these people, like, there were obviously a bunch of like nostalgia blind people who were just hating on this show just because it was a reboot. I'm not trying to say that these people don't exist. I'm just saying not all of them are like that. Some people were being legit. There were a bunch of smart people who actually had legitimate concerns, but people just kept belittling them. It's exactly like politics. Like, both sides, there's always like a reasonable side, but there's also an extreme side that's just completely toxic. It's exactly like politics. But another thing I didn't like about the Thundercats War drama had to do with a certain campaign that I've been seeing a lot, and this is not something necessarily exclusive to Thundercats Roar, but it was a big case with that drama. And that is this campaign of people trying to like paint the animation industry in a very positive light, and they do that excessively. Like, I feel like every time someone talks shit about modern cartoons, there's always a huge group of people trying to defend it. And I don't know, like, I find that to be very time consuming and just very exhausting. I don't understand why people need to respond to literally any person who talks shit about modern cartoons. Like, look, I also tend to respond to criticism, but usually criticisms that I respond to are ones that are worth responding. Like, I don't respond to literally every criticism I see of something I like. If I did that, like you have no idea how much both my YouTube channel and my Twitter would be filled with responses, because I see it all the time. Like, things I like, as some people do talk about it. Some talk shit about it more fairly, others a little more unfairly. I see both cases, but I don't always respond to them. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I respond to something that interests me, but I don't think it's good to respond to all of them, because we live in a world filled with millions and billions of people. Like, we can't convince everyone to feel the same way we do. And so I think people should be a little more selective and be a little more careful with what we choose, like who we choose to respond to. Like, you don't have to respond to everyone who says something negative about modern cartoons, even if it's the most misinformed shit ever. You don't fucking have to. And the CalArts thing, like, yeah, it's a terrible name, because it doesn't even make sense, because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, everyone has already debunked the CalArts thing, and that's the thing. Like, till this day, like, I don't remember who it was, but I actually saw some people bring up the CalArts style conversation again, trying to debunk it. I don't like the Roundtable, Movie Bob, Channel Frederator, Mars Reviews. They've all made video talking about the CalArts style. They've all debunked this meme. It's basically a meme at this point. Everyone has already debunked it. Like, why do you still have to bring this up? Like, at this point, people who use the CalArts term, like the CalArts style, you know, that term, at this point, they're just ignorant. They're just being ignorant. Do you really want to respond to literally every ignorant people out there? This is the fucking internet. It's a place where any 12-year-old can say whatever stupid shit they want. And I see this all the time. It's all the freaking time. Every single fucking day. The Thundercats Roar. That drama lasted for way too fucking long. Like, I don't remember exactly how long, but it was way too long. Every day was just the same tweets, just like every other drama. Same tweets, the same fucking shit over and over again. It just made me feel less motivated to go to Twitter. And very recently, this happened again, and that was after the whole High Guardian Spice controversy. Because I'm not gonna talk about the show itself. I've already shared my opinions on that stupid trailer. I want to talk about a certain guy. I don't remember his name, but it was this guy who made this tweet he made this tweet that said, I've come to a conclusion. Westerners should be banned from producing animation until they get their shit together. Now, when I saw that tweet, my immediate reaction was, okay, this is clearly a joke. Like, this is very clearly someone just just someone poking fun at modern animation. Like, it's clearly a joke. Don't tell me I'm the only person out there that can clearly tell that this is a joke. Like, please don't tell me that I'm the weird one. But I guess I am, because everybody else took this joke way too fucking seriously. Every single fucking person and their fucking grandma responded to this tweet, writing 10,000 word thesis trying to explain why he was misinformed, for why he was an idiot for thinking that way, just trying to defend modern animation. I don't understand. I can't be the only one that thinks this is a joke, right? And something really funny that I saw a couple of people say, and it was not just a few people, it was a lot. I kept hearing people say something along the lines of, you only give 4 examples. You can't represent the entire animation industry with just 4 examples. Are you fucking kidding me? This is Twitter. In case you somehow forgot, Twitter has a 4 picture limit. Each tweet, you can only upload 4 pictures. I'm sure that if he had more options, he would probably give more examples of cartoons he doesn't like. And that's assuming he's taking this tweet seriously, might I add. But even if he was, he can only give 4 examples. And the 4 you saw there, regardless if you agree with him or not, were at the top of his head. So he thought, okay, I'm just gonna pick these 4 ones because they're at the top of my head. This is how Twitter fucking works. This is just how Twitter is. People try to make jokes all the fucking time. I don't understand. I don't understand how people took this so seriously. And I got furious that I actually tweeted about this. I said, oh, I feel bad for this guy. So many people are going after him and taking it seriously. And someone who ended up responding to me was Trafon. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Trafon. I don't have a problem with him as a person. I'm sure he's decent, maybe. I don't know. I've never fucking met him. I don't give a shit. But his page, I don't really like it. I don't like his memes. I don't like how obsessive he is with topics. Anyone can testify the whole Butch Hartman drama and how this guy just went full overboard. His tweets are very pandering normie shit, and I don't like using the term normie. Well, actually, that's not even true. I actually love using that term. Yeah, fuck it. He's a very normie Twitter page, and I find it kind of funny that he likes to sort of brand himself as someone who spreads positivity, which is kind of funny given how he talks shit about Cartoon Network schedules, Butch Hartman, any controversy related to cartoon. His Twitter page is literally called The Rise and Fall of Nickelodeon. Now, don't get me wrong, he can criticize whatever the fuck he wants. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying, you don't have to pretend that you're this positivity spreading guy. You're both. You're both negative and positive. Just deal with it. And anyway, he ended up responding to my tweets, and he said that I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said something about this guy harassing people, and so he doesn't feel bad for him. He said something like that. I'll probably put the fucking tweet on the screen so you guys can read. And I found that to be pretty odd because I did end up going to, what's his name? I don't remember his name. I think it's Matt something. Yeah. I ended up going to Matt's Twitter page. he didn't harass anyone. Like, the closest he came to harassing someone was when he screenshot one of the writers for High Guardian Spice. He screenshotted one of the tweets from one of the writers to make fun of her, and the writer ended up responding to that tweet, and then he responded to it. That's the closest he came to harassing anyone, which I barely count that as harassing anyway. He didn't fucking harass anyone. All he did was respond to a bunch of people who were responding to his tweet. So no, it was not fucking harassment. And someone like brought up this point that his tweet like encourages harassment, which is a lot of bullshit, because first of all, he didn't name drop anyone with that tweet. He was just making fun of a bunch of cartoons. That's not encouraging harassment, because if his tweet is encouraging harassment, then literally any negative comment you could possibly share on the internet encourages harassment. Does that mean he has to fucking feel bad for it? No. Anything, literally anything can encourage harassment. And funny enough, he ended up getting harassed. And this is something I'm sure no one's gonna point out, but I fucking will. Because this guy ended up, I think it was a day later. It's kind of funny because this Matt guy, he ended up responding to my tweet. He said that it's not a big deal, that he's actually laughing at the amount of negative tweets he's been receiving. I wish I had his mindset. I actually envy him. I respect him for seeing the situation in a sort of positive, like seeing the positive of the situation, which is to laugh at all of the ridiculous tweets that he's been receiving. And no, when I say ridiculous tweets, I'm not saying all of the any negative response that he's receiving. Granted, some of these people do actually took his jokes seriously, so I think those ones are also ridiculous. But I'm also talking about the death threats, because yeah, he has been receiving pretty scummy responses, like fucking death threats. So as y'all can see, any negative comment can lead to harassment. Now look, I'm not blaming Trafon. I'm sure he didn't want any harassment against him. I mean, I don't know him, but based on what I've seen, based on how I've seen him behave online, Trefon does not come across as someone who would encourage harassment to anyone. And so I believe that he didn't ask for that, and I believe that if he knew that his tweet ended up causing that, he probably would have stepped up and say, guys, don't fucking do that. And who knows? And this is under the assumption that his tweet was responsible for it, because who knows? Maybe it was someone else's tweet. Either way, someone caused this. Someone said something negative, and that something negative ended up motivating a lot of people to send them death threats. Because that's just how the internet works. So that's just it. That's Twitter. It's just a never-ending cycle of toxic drama. And keep in mind, it's not the fact that it's a drama that makes it toxic. It's just how excessive, time-consuming, exhausting, tiresome it really is, because it drains my fucking mind. I cannot tolerate this environment that I've created for Twitter. And even though this video will likely have a title that somehow relates to the animation community on Twitter, this is probably not something that's exclusive to fucking cartoon fans. This is probably also a thing with other communities. I don't know. I'm just sharing my experience with the fucking animation realm, because that's my world. It's the world I live in, and I'm kind of sick of it. This is why now I spend more time on Discord than I do on Twitter. I like Discord, and I like the people who are a part of my server. They're fun people. I like talking to them. I haven't had that same fun, actually fulfilling experience online. I haven't had that on Twitter for a while. Now Twitter is just a complete dumpster fire. Not saying I'm quitting on Twitter. I'm obviously not gonna do that. Actually, that would really damage my. I mean, I don't know if it would directly damage, but I don't know. I feel like Twitter is a good method of promoting yourself, and I'm always gonna use Twitter. And I'm always gonna have some stupid things to say on Twitter. But it's definitely not like there was a period when I actually did enjoy going to Twitter. Now it's just kind of dull. It's not fun anymore. It's just kind of annoying. It also doesn't help that almost everyone I follow seems to tweet and retweet Treffin for some reason. I don't want to fucking see his stupid ass tweets on my timeline. Just, whatever.